I've been off a little bit this week because I was researching for our trade of the week, which was on Broadcom. I hope you'll take us up on that. I think 2025 is going to be a very special year for Broadcom. So be sure to check out our trade there. But one of the things I wanted to go over is our successful election trade, because this has been our most successful trade so far. And the gains are so high, it makes some people skeptical. It was 313% in 6 trading sessions. So what I wanted to do is walk you through exactly how we achieved that. Keep calm and short the VIX. One of the things that we took advantage of in this trade is called the variance premium. And that is the tendency of realized volatility, what actually happens, to be less than implied volatility, which is volatility implied from a number of variables associated with an options contract. This was our most successful trade so far. But there's been a few that have been comparable in gains, but we're talking about the speed of the gains. We're not just after price movement, we're after rapid price movement, right? In a short period of time. And if we can correctly identify that when the market is expecting something different, we will be grossly rewarded for our efforts. We saw a high probability of a volatility crush after the election based on historical data, and that was regardless of who won. When there's the level of uncertainty that we saw around this election, it was a pretty safe bet that the actual outcome was going to be less than the worst we could imagine. Markets just tend to have a volatility crush after an election, regardless of any particular idiosyncratic facts about that election. Just the way that implied volatility tends to get crushed after an earnings report, whether it's good or bad, right? So what we're taking advantage of here is uncertainty, and the removal of uncertainty was what caused the rapid price action. As you can see, right before the election, the VIX was close to $23, and within a matter of days, it went to below $14 yesterday, right? So it was a very, very rapid crush. So we didn't just bet that the VIX would crush. We also took our bet at the $17 strike price, which on election day was quite far out of the money. So we bet it would not only be a volatility crush, but it would be one of the larger ones in recent history. And I'll tell you why. It's not as complicated as you might think. Firstly, qualitatively, we did expect the election to be resolved quicker than in 2020, a lot quicker. As you can see here from our note, which we gave the trade in, I think there's a higher likelihood than many realize that we may have a very clear idea, if not a certainty, of who won the election by early morning tomorrow. Now, I wrote those words on Tuesday, November 5th, the election, and that is also when we initiated this trade. History was on our side, right? You can see this is performance before an election. By the way, we did give you a VIX contract that gave you triple-digit gains in the volatility run-up to the election as well, which was harder to do based on historical probabilities, but I did that based on mostly qualitative analysis. However, our post-election VIX crush had a lot of historical justification. You can see at the 1 week time horizon, which is about how long we had left when we initiated the trade. Very risky, by the way, with that little time value. We had an 80% probability of winning that trade, right? Given the magnitude of the move, we got to experience high triple-digit gains that are usually not possible in 6 sessions. But I also want to show you that buying the VIX is not as hard as many people think. The other great thing about the VIX is that it settles in cash. It's also European expiration that might dissuade a lot of investors from buying it. But it's easy to buy VIX options if you're able to buy options at your brokerage, and I'm going to show you how to. So quickly, though, I want to walk you through the exact mechanics of our trade, right? The way the VIX settles is by something called the VRO, and it settles on a Wednesday. There's a special opening quotation price. In our case, it was 14.60 on November 13th. So that means with a $17 put option, it paid off $2.40 in your account. We told you to buy it at 58 cents. It last traded on Tuesday at 206, and then when the VIX went down more, that between the close and the special opening quotation, that's what accounts for the difference between the $2.06 and the final settling price of $2.40. So we recommended it at 58 cents. It settled at 240. The difference between 240 and 58 cents, the original premium, is $1.82. You divide that by 58 cents, that's a 313% return in 6 trading sessions. That is the best trade we've gotten you so far. It's like, that's like 2 years of NVIDIA gains in 6 trading sessions. So we're very proud of this trade. We're very happy that we were able to give it to our subscribers. And we think it really also demonstrates the value of a subscription to Punk Rock Traders. This is just directly from my brokerage account. And if you want to buy VIX options, this is how you do it. You're going to search VIX with a $sign in front of it. You can click right there on SIBO Volatility Index. This is in Schwab. It might be a little different if you have a different brokerage account. And you can see VIX spiked today. We think that'll be temporary, by the way. So then you click on options. And, one of the things you want to do when you're viewing an options chain is to make sure you're viewing the right strikes that you want to view. Sometimes it'll be a little limited toward close to at the money. Sometimes with the VIX, as we showed on election day, you can get quite a lot of pop if you go out of the money and get access to that convexity. So once you have clicked on your options and you've selected your strikes and expirations, then you just go to the chain, you evaluate the different contracts based on your goals, and you can evaluate them based on the Black-Scholes model. Remember that VIX are European expiration, and the Black-Scholes model was initially built for European expiration options and then adapted to American options. So valuing VIX options is a fun little exercise, and you can find undervalued ones and trade them. Or you can go with our more informed macro strategies that are trading the VIX based on what we think will happen because of historical probabilities and qualitative analysis. One thing I do want to point out is that as the VIX gets close to expiration, there is a ton of open interest. You can see on the $16 puts. There's 56,000 on the calls. There's 200,000. And, one of the things that we tend to do is to short the VIX rather than going long the VIX because the odds are just simply better. A lot of people get exposure to the variance premium by selling options. We do it with long options at Punk Rock Traders because that's just what we prefer to do. And that's what I think is better for our subscribers. If you don't have the ability to trade options, you have to get it through your brokerage account. And, we don't want people trading options who don't know what they're doing. You have to learn a lot to trade options. You have to know what the Greeks are, and you have to understand how price can change very quickly, both for you and against you. In this case, price changed for us. And we showed the power of short-dated options and just how much alpha is available in corners of derivatives markets that Wall Street tells you are too dangerous to play in. So I have not seen a better election trade than we did that was publicly posted and available to subscribers. If you see one, please let me know. But I think that this trade is one of the best publicly posted election trades that we saw. Again, it was all volatility too. You didn't have to take risk of getting exposed to crypto, which might have gone down if Harris won. It wasn't dependent on one or candidate or not winning, so it was a better risk profile than the prediction markets. And so we're very proud of this trade. It's exactly what we hope to deliver to you at Punk Rock Traders, and we hope you'll consider subscribing. Thanks so much for taking the time to learn about our election trade, and have a great day.